Let me ask you something and try to be honest with yourself. And not the answer you'd give if someone was watching, but the real one. When was the last time someone asked you how you were and actually waited for the response? Not the quick check-in at the school pickup or the hi, how are you? That's really just a greeting. But someone who looked at you and genuinely wanted to know what was happening inside of you, who you really were, and what you were really carrying. And if you have trouble remembering, if that question made your chest tight, well, you're in the right place tonight. Because this episode is about something most women carry silently for years. A loneliness so particular, so specific, that it doesn't even really have a common name. It's the type of loneliness of being the one everyone leans on, the one everyone calls, the one whose life looks full from the outside, and who lies awake some nights wondering why. With all of this, she still feels so unseen. I all too well know that loneliness, and I've lived it inside, and tonight I want to sit inside of it with you. Not to fix it, but to finally name it. Because some things, when they're finally named, they lose a little bit of their power to isolate us. Welcome to the return. Wherever you are right now, in your bed, on the porch, on the couch, in a quiet room with the door closed, I want you to know that for the next few minutes, you don't have to be anyone. Not the mother, not the spouse, not the woman who holds it all together. You just need to be you. Let's take a breath together. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. Tonight, I want to tell you about a particular time in my life, a time when I had, by any external measures, everything. And I was useful. I was needed. I was, by every visible measure, not alone. And I was lonelier than I had ever been. Not lonely for company and not lonely for someone to sit across the dinner table from. Lonely in a way I couldn't explain, because to explain it, I would have had to admit something I was not ready to admit, that no one in my life actually knew me. They knew the version of me I'd been performing for so long that even I had started to believe that story. You know, the one, the capable one, the resourceful one, the one who knew what to do, and the one that you'd call when things fell apart, because I did not fall apart. I held it together, and I always did. But what I didn't know how to do was how to be known. And there's a difference, isn't there, between being needed and being known. Being needed keeps people close. They orbit you because you're useful to them, and you are grateful for that orbit because it feels like belonging. But it's not belonging, it's usefulness. and usefulness has a contract underneath it. Whether anyone says it or not, you perform and they stay. But if you stop performing, you'll find out whether they were ever really there. Being known is something else entirely. It requires you to let someone see past the performance, to let them sit with that version of you that is uncertain or unfinished, is tired or afraid, the version you keep behind the door marked private, even from yourself. And at that time in my life, I didn't know how to do that. I spent so many years making myself palatable, useful, reliable, capable, fine, that I lost the thread back to what I actually felt. So when someone asked how I was, I said fine. And it wasn't because I was lying exactly, but because fine was the only answer I knew how to give. Everything beneath fine felt too big or too complicated, and certainly too risky to put into words. So I stayed fine and I stayed lonely. And I told myself that this was just what being an adult was, that everyone felt this way, and that this particular ache was the price of being a woman in the middle of her own life. What I know now, what I would tell that woman if I could sit across from her, is that the loneliness was not a flaw in her circumstances. It was a flaw in the contract with herself. She agreed somewhere along the way to only be visible as she was useful. And that agreement was quietly costing her everything. Because here's what I've come to understand about loneliness no one talks about. You cannot be known by others until you're willing to be known by yourself. It sounds simple, right? But it is the hardest thing I know. To be known by yourself means to stop managing your own inner experiences and to stop curating what you feel into something more acceptable. It's to sit with the sadness or the restlessness or the grief and the ache and not immediately reach for the things that make it seem smaller. It means letting yourself be the woman who doesn't have all the answers, who is tired, who misses something she can't name, who is a little lonely inside in a full life and isn't sure what to do about it. It means, above all else, being willing to say, this is what is actually happening inside of me, and not what should be happening, not what I wish was happening, but what is. And I'll tell you something else, something that I don't say very often. I still get lonely. It's not in the same way, not that particular hollow loneliness of being needed and unseen, but loneliness in the way I think is honest for anyone who is still doing the work of returning to themselves. There are things I understand about myself now that I can't always find words for. And there are places I've been in my own interior that I haven't brought fully into light yet. And sometimes that is quiet and isolating in its own way. I say that because I want you to hear that this is not a problem to solve and then we're done with it. It's a condition to meet again and again. And we need to do it with increasing tenderness and compassion. The return is not a one time event, it's a practice of showing up for yourself over and over again so that you become someone who's genuinely known by at least one person in this world, yourself. And from that place, from that foundation of honest self knowing, something wonderful happens. You begin to let others in, not the curated version, the real one. And when you do, the people who are meant to know you, they're going to stay. And the ones who were only there for the performance, they're going to drift away. And that loss, though it might hurt, is not actually a loss. It's clarification. It's how you find your people, your tribe, the people who are meant to be in your life, the ones who can hold you when you are not fine. Tonight, I want you to ask yourself something. You don't have to answer it out loud, but just hold with the question. Is there something you're feeling right now, tonight, in this moment, that you have not let yourself name? Not something big or complicated. It could be small. Maybe a feeling you pushed aside because there wasn't time or space or anyone to tell. What is it? You don't have to do anything with it tonight. You don't have to share it with anyone. Just let yourself know that it's there and that it belongs to you and that it's real and it's yours and it deserves at least the courtesy of being named. You have been so faithful to everyone else's feelings for so long. Right now, just for this moment, tend to your own. You are not too much. You have never been too much. What you are is a woman who learned to make herself smaller so the people around her would be comfortable. And you've been doing it so long and so skillfully that even you forgot it was not the whole of you. There is more to you than anyone has ever seen, and you deserve at the very least to see it yourself. You are not alone in this. You were never alone. Rest well tonight, and I'll see you in the next episode.